Yo. Welcome back to the podcast with Femi. This one's basically for those guys who, want to listen to some of my thoughts, want to listen to some of my ideas, whether it's about gaming or about life or about people issues, all that kind of stuff. That's what I want to share here. Today's a different idea. Normally I do this on the stream, I do it live with everybody, but I just decided maybe I'm gonna share my thoughts this time around without responding to other people's opinions as well. I'll share my opinions now, and if you guys have your opinions, please feel free to share them in the comments as well. So mostly for today, when I was pondering on how this whole podcast thing was gonna go, it occurred to me that, instead of me just thinking and processing and trying to gain a perfect idea of how I want this to go, maybe I should just start, just talk to you guys and just, see how it goes from there. So I hope you guys enjoy, the thought process and everything I end up talking about today. So first thing I wanted to talk about, which is actually very interesting to me just because of how it ended up panning out, was Trials. I finally played Trials, or PvP in general, after a month. First time I played PvP was in Customs this weekend, where it started off just being very annoying, just because one of the main things I have issues with Trials is, or PvP in general, is just the approach that everybody has towards PvP. Everybody's going for that win mentality, win at all cost mentality, and it just gets very tiring for me, because for me, PvP is all about improving and getting, generally just getting better. So when people are not trying to get better, but they just want to win, no matter what corners they have to bypass to be able to get there, and then experiencing that in Customs, in a community environment, everybody's still doing the same thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know no matter what scenario you put yourself in, there's gonna be people who are better than others. So, I wouldn't kill everybody every time, but there's a certain sense to just playing relaxed, and there's another thing about putting your all and trying to win every engagement like you're practicing for the pro league or something. So that was my first experience of PvP after a month, but it ended up cooling down because I just decided, why not enjoy the people that I'm around, instead of bothering about who's shooting who's doing what. Let me just hang around the people that enjoy being around me, and let's just have some fun. So it ended up getting better, so that was good. But back to Trials. So I get into Trials, and I'm playing with a friend of mine, and I'm literally just hoping that I don't have one of those horrible experiences. Now, before I go on this, I do want to mention this weekend there's an exploit in the game where if you're able to get flawless ones, you can keep getting flawless rewards by using the confidence card. So of course, when Destiny players hear exploits, they're ready to get in there and play as much as possible, as far as there's something that they can exploit in the game to be able to get something that they maybe normally shouldn't have. So I'm expecting, on one hand, for a lot of people to be there. So I'm expecting the games to be relatively balanced between people who are trying hard and people who just want to be in there because they know they'll eventually get something. But to my surprise, the first 3 games, it's pretty gritty. Everybody's actually trying. Everybody's using the Void 3.0 loadouts. People are going invis. Some people with their Limonarchs, people who've got their main ingredients, all that stuff. And surprisingly, because of the people that I was around, it was a chill enough environment to where it wasn't as upsetting as I thought it would be. Because one of the things that stopped me from playing PvP is just how upset that I feel like it would get me, unnecessarily. Because normally I'm not out there trying to look for the loot. I'm also not trying to go there to get better in Destiny, just because I don't feel like I'm getting better if I kill someone who is put up a shield barricade and is 300 health and has a fusion around the corner. Like, it's just a lot of stress. I don't prove to you that I'm better. I'm just stressing myself in a scenario that could almost be impossible to win. Speaking of, I saw a similar scenario. I was watching Grenadier Jake's stream about a week ago where he was doing a carry for somebody, and he basically matched up against this team, and all three of them had triple titan, triple barricade on Midtown. Now the way it was also capture the flag, so if those three guys get to the flag before you and they put those barricades up there, you're not coming anywhere close to them. There's just nothing you can do. And I could see the misery in his eyes just about how, like, it's such an impossible scenario. He didn't even want to try to think about how he could beat the team or anything like that. Some people would say like he just got defeated, like he felt defeated, he should have tried something, but I feel like sometimes it just gets to the point where you're just like, it's not even worth it. Even if I win, I don't prove that I'm better. I'm just gonna be exhausting a lot of energy on something that's pretty close to just borderline just annoying. So anyways, coming back to it, the point is, for me, going into trials this weekend, I just wanted to try it out and play with a friend, and it ended up being better. And I think it is about more people playing trials though, because when the community is small and everybody who's in there is trying to do a carry or is trying to get their KD up or trying to get a certain amount of kills or whatever people do in trials these days, that's when it gets more toxic. But the more that there's a random chance of just facing someone like me as well, who normally doesn't play trials but it's just trying out, you know, to play with a friend, as far as I can get in there and I could play, it was actually pretty fine, which was just super surprising for me. Now, when I did ask though, I did ask my friend like, yo, I was expecting the games to be a lot easier because everybody's supposed to be playing because of this exploit. He also mentioned to me that it's probably because everybody is in freelance playing, which makes me think of the fact that even in a scenario where it could be easier for you to get through trials or get loot from trials, people are still not trying to play with each other. Because the freelance was available and there, people wouldn't actually take that time to just get a good team together, and maybe not even a good team, because I'm not saying you should go find somebody that's gonna carry you, but just find someone else, you know, online. Just say, you know, I'm just looking to play, I'm just looking to do my bounties, I'm looking to get 7 wins, whatever the case may be. You know, just give it a chance to just find people and communicate, because that takes me to another topic of just how, like, when people get online to game, I feel like a lot of people are running away from the fact that they don't really socialize IRL. That's like in real life, on their day-to-day, they don't really socialize. And even though there's an opportunity within a game for you to find someone with a common interest to play with them, because of, I understand there's a lot of toxicity in the community, people just refrain from that as well in the games. And I just feel like this is the perfect opportunity where if you reach out to someone or reach out to on LFG to just say, I'm looking to try out trials, you know, I'm not that good, does anybody want to play? There'll be people out there that would want to play with you and give it a chance. Yes, you might find a few people that quit, yeah, you might find a few people that rage, but that's the same way it is in life. You can't just, you know, protect yourself from every possible scenario or every kind of person that would not like you or would not match your energy perfectly. So I was just surprised to see, like, you know, people weren't actually making that many teams to come play trials. Everybody was going into the freelance, but also without those people that ran to the freelance to be able to play there instead, it was still an enjoyable experience because there was still somewhat of a balance. So it seemed like there were still a few people, you know, who just took a chance, you know, maybe had some friends that they haven't played with in a while and just said, yo guys, you want to play? There's some stuff happening in trials this weekend, and they still showed up. So at least it was still nice, just unexpectedly nice. And I wanted to share that as well, because most people don't hear me say anything good about PvP or even talk about playing PvP in the first place. Now, moving on to the next topic on this podcast, which was my solo gameplay. So during the week, I was talking to stream about me playing solo, when normally, because I teach people on a daily basis, I get to play with a bunch of people, 5 teams of 6 almost every single time, because I do a lot of raiding. Now, a lot of people say that when they don't have people to play with, the game is boring, but I found that for myself, whenever I'm playing alone, I'm actually just, you know, listening to music or watching a TV show, watching a movie at the same time, and I'm actually enjoying the game in a different way. I enjoy teaching people, but at the same time, being able to relax and play on my own and just listen to my own thoughts, is always kind of nice. Because what was I doing? I was attuning weapons. So I was in Surochi and I was just attuning weapon after weapon and progressing some of the weapons that I had already crafted, and it was just nice and chill to just do that and just relax. And another thing that I realized about that is there are a lot of weapons in this game that, because of the way that I play the game, I don't touch these guns. I don't even try them out. I check the RPM, I check the roll that I have, and I don't even give it a chance to even see if it's okay or whatever. And with these attunement of weapons, it actually in a way makes you use a lot of different weapons. I know you can just finish activities to be able to upgrade these weapons, or put the weapon on your character at the end of the activity, but with this particular system of killing enemies in Surochi, I was using a bunch of weapons that I would have never touched. I even used some perks that I had never tried before because I read them and I thought, man, this perk's not going to work. Like, for example, the chill clip perk. I was using that and I saw the enemies get slowed, and I've never used it. I probably would have never used it by myself, but I was trying to attune a weapon and it had it on it, and I saw its effectiveness and I was like, oh, maybe I will try this out. So a lot of people are talking about weapon crafting in general in Destiny, and they're saying how it's not good at all, or it's it feels very unfinished. But at the same time, I feel like it brings a lot of good to it, because for me, I could definitely say, like, if there's one thing it brought to me, it was the fact that I actually used these different guns that I normally would never touch, these perks that I normally would never use. So if there was a hidden perk in the game, a hidden gem, I would be able to find it this way just because I would be using that weapon to get some kills, and maybe I might like it better. So for me, that was an interesting thing that I picked up about the whole new crafting system and the tuning of weapons and things like that. The last thing that I wanted to talk about on this podcast, because I don't want it lasting for too long, like, I do want to share these thoughts with you guys, but I still want to keep it concise so it's not, playing for you guys forever, is this idea that I had about a raid vendor. So we've had when Leviathan was out, we used to be able to go to the vendor in the tower that we could buy Leviathan things from, which is similar to the vendors that we have at the end of raids of Vault of Glass, of Vow right now, where you can go there and you can reroll for certain weapons or even get different pieces of armor. I was wondering about a different idea when it came to raids, because if you play Crucible and you play a lot of it, you rank up shacks to where you get a bunch of engrams, you get enhancement cores, you get prime engrams, you get all this stuff from Crucible. Same with Vanguard, same with Gambit. For me, somebody who plays raids majorly, I was wondering, wouldn't it be cool if we also had a raid vendor? Even if it was Crow, I don't even care who it is, but someone who you can go to, and when you keep playing raids over and over, after you finished for the week, you don't get more raid items, because I understand Bungie wants to keep the exclusivity of the raid items, but instead you get this vendor that when you go to him, you can get those prime engrams, you can get those extra enhancement cores, maybe even level up and you get a golf ball. Some of these things will drop in the master version of the Vow when it comes out, but it would be nice that even if you finish the raids for the week, you could still go keep doing more and more raids and keep leveling up your raid rank. And hopefully, if Bungie ever implements something like this, it's not something that you could just progress by just doing encounters over and over again, even though it would have to be a balance, because I know people like to exploit this game and they could just farm one checkpoint like Templar over and over just to be able to accumulate some of that stuff, like spoils. Maybe they would make spoils be exclusive to the raids, and then they'll just keep all those other upgrade modules, enhancement cores, prime engrams, all those other things in the vendor. But I thought it would be a really cool idea, and I want to know what you guys think about that. In any case, those are the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I hope you guys, if you're just relaxing, listening to this in your living room or with some headphones, I hope it was a nice conversation. I'm trying to separate what we do on Twitch in terms of like just teaching people and reaching out to people and discussing things live, and also have a place where if you don't meet me live, maybe you're working when I'm live, you could also sit back and listen to these podcasts instead of, because watching a past episode on Twitch of me helping other people or talking with people that are live, I feel like it's a little bit different. With this, you feel like you're in the conversation with everybody, whether you're talking in the comments or you're just listening to this. I think it's a good option for me to be able to have a conversation with you guys as well. So if you guys enjoyed it, if you want more of these kind of setups, just let me know in the comments below. If you're new here and you want to get more, I plan on doing more of this in the near future. You can hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well, so you can get notified the next time that I'm doing one of these or releasing another video on this channel. I also do guides. I also show you different ideas and things that could help you while you're playing Destiny 2. So this is another section of it where it's just conversations with you. Today a lot of it was about Destiny. Maybe the next time it would be about just general lifestyle stuff like the last time, but I'm gonna come to you guys with different ideas, different parts of my gaming or real life scenarios, share them with you. And if you guys want to share as well, feel free to do so in the comment section or stop by on the Twitch streams as well, twitch.tv/Olufemi, where I'm on Tuesday to Saturday every single week, 10:30 EST to 6:30 EST, and we can continue these conversations over there, or we could raid together as well. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay positive, stay safe. Peace.